Gold Squad TV. First video of the day, y'all. My apologies. Been a busy day. Just got home, worked the whole shift, didn't even get a break. That's what it is. Celtics fans, y'all want to get rid of Danny Ainge. Let me be the first one to tell you, I am no Danny Ainge fan. I never liked Danny going back to his Phoenix days as a coach when Robert Horry threw the towel in his face. Well deserved. In Boston, may I add. Game. That said, I got to let Danny off the hook on this one. Y'all bugging. Celtics chat room. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all. Some of y'all. Not all. I want everybody. Shout to my man Petros. The cigar in his mouth. That's my man's. Salute. Always supporting. No doubt. Not everybody bad in the chat room. I got mad love for y'all. Even the ones I don't like, it's all good. It's not personal. It's just disagreement. That said, y'all smoking crack. If you think Danny should have pulled trigger the last 2 to 3 years on some of those deals so he could get better in 1 week and then lose these guys in free agency. You got to understand something. Boston, unfortunately, as much as I love the Celtics as an organization, let me be first one to tell you it's not a free agent destination. Meaning, unfortunately, when it's not a free agent destination, you got to make trades or you got to draft well. Danny, you got to understand, you want Danny to make these trades. You learn anything from the Kyrie Irving trade. Not every trade is good for the betterment of the team. You can't always trade for a superstar and think that's going to be great, especially if he's going to opt out and leave in a year or two. You guys wanted Danny to trade Tatum and Brown for Anthony Davis, who said, in quote, "I'm not resigning." His father basically said, "I don't want my son playing in the city of Boston." Basically because of how Danny treated IT, basically. Shouts to IT, by the way. Salute to my little man's. Little legend right there. You guys need to stop trying to trade everyone. That's why you guys aren't GMs. Not the biggest Danny Ainge fan. I'd be first one to tell you some of them deals he's made in the past. Signing Gordon Hayward was probably the dumbest contract I've ever seen him sign. Horford, I didn't mind too much. People kill for Horford. I didn't mind Horford for that time. You know, it was a different team back then. I didn't like the Antoine Walker move back in the day. He got Garnett, Ray Allen. He made that's probably his biggest deal to date. That and the trades that got the picks in order to get Marcus Smart, be able to get guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum with those deals who otherwise would have been in Brooklyn right now if the chips paid would have fell as they may. That said, y'all need to stop. Seriously, y'all need to stop wanting this man fired. Him not pulling the trigger this offseason on a deal makes perfect sense. Trading Kemba Walker for James Harden or trying to find some deal to get rid of Kemba Walker, it's ridiculous. James Harden is going to be 32. He has a horrible reputation, and apparently the Celtics were obstructed not to deal for him because of his reputation, much like Kyrie. Very me first guy. Like a lot of those superstars are. Me first guys. Divas. You wanted Danny to trade Brittle Bones for Turner. I've been wanting that. That's the only thing that I'll fault Danny on is that he should have traded Hayward's Brittle Bone ass for Miles Turner last trade deadline. He didn't do it. He stood pat. And he paid for it. That said, I'm not trading any of those four that I'm going to mention right now. JT, JB, Kemba, Smart. Cannot trade those guys. Those are irreplaceable guys. Remember, you want to have long-term success. You might not get the title right now, but you also got to understand a lot of those teams that are building aren't going to be long-term teams. Let's really be honest. Do you really think Brooklyn's going to win multiple titles? They're only going to have 2 or 3 years of Kemba, 2 or 3 years of Kyrie and Durant. They're not getting Harden because Houston Rockets owner said he ain't going nowhere. You're only going to have 2 or 3 good years left of those 2 guys, and then they're going to bail. I wouldn't even be surprised if Kyrie retires after this year, especially if they win a ring. I wouldn't be surprised. He doesn't even like basketball. He hates basketball. He hates the media. I don't even think he enjoys the sport anymore. KD's KD. And I think KD will play. He said he's going to play to 35. He's 32 now. He said he's going to play to 35. So I give him maybe 2.5, 3 more years, and he's out. I think he's a done deal. He wants to go become a producer. He's been working as a producer behind the scenes musically. He's a music head. So I think he kind of wants to do that and do other ventures. Miami's not going to be great. I think Miami was a fluke this year. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't care how good they look against us because I think our coaching stunk in that conference finals. Coaching lost us that conference finals. Make that clear. Coaching did. When your coach doesn't know how to figure out a 2-3 zone, he should have been fired off rip just on that. That said, we still got another year, Brad. You got an extension. It's what it is. I'm not going to argue that whether I like him or not. It's not important. Bigger picture. Would you rather win a title now and distinct for the next 15 years or contend for the next 5 and then win multiple titles once these so-called super teams start falling out? And mind you, Brooklyn's not a super team. Neither is Philly. There is no super teams really right now. It's wide open. You guys really think that these teams are like the Golden State Warriors of the years past that were just no way to beat them? No. So with that said, we don't even know what KD's going to look like. A lot of y'all think he's going to go back to being KD. I'll be first one to tell you, when you tear an Achilles, he's going to be at least 75-80% of what he used to be. He's not going to be able, especially with his game, outside of him being a shooter, he's probably going to be more of a shooter than he ever was in the past. His ball handling is going to suffer because his lateral movement is not going to be the same as it once was. And he's aging. Doesn't mean he's going to be whacked. Just means he might not be the same again. He's still better than like 85% of the players in the league at 80%. Still just doesn't mean he's not going to be KD of like 2017. He's not going to be that dude. That dude's gone. Kyrie's an injury away from being out for a year. The Sixers, we don't know what they're going to be because I'm kind of skeptical on how Doc's going to run that system, considering Daryl Morey is a guy that loves running more of an analytic system to where Doc is not really an analytical coach. I kind of wonder how that's going to work, especially with Embiid being out there. He's not the most physically conditioned guy in the world. And then you got Toronto, who's going to be playing in Tampa this year because they can't play in Toronto. Toronto, probably of all the teams in the East, is still very much of a threat, but they're on their way out. Kyle Lowry is going to be able to play at the level he played at last year forever. He's always going to be a crafty player, but he's not going to be the Kyle Lowry of old. Eventually, he's going to start aging. They might lose Van Fleet in free agency, which is why they drafted the young point guards they did. And they also got Terrence Davis, who's actually really good point guard that they got. So Van Fleet might be out of here. Then, when you get beyond Boston, in Miami, I mean, let's really be honest. Is Indiana really a threat? No. Charlotte a threat? No. New York a threat? No. Orlando's definitely not a threat in any shape or form. No. So you legitimately only got 4 or 5 teams in the East that are threats. We're not even going to talk the West Coast because we don't have to worry about that. Milwaukee, you're going to sit there and say, well, they got better. They got Holiday. Holiday's injury prone. Yeah, he's played well the last couple of years, but he's an injury away from being in Kyrie status, which is being on the bench. They lost Bogdanovich. They couldn't get that trade through. So now they're going to now you're going to have some disgruntled players coming back who were traded in the deal. And now they're not going to be able to, they're going to have to find other trade partners to get rid of. They let go of Ilyasova, who was a real big part of their team 2 years ago. And actually was a hard-nosed guy, which I hope the Celtics take a look at off the bench. They lost Robin Lopez as well. So a lot of their depth is gone. Outside of that, ain't nobody scaring me. No one scares me in the East, man. Y'all be wilding out, acting like the Golden State Warriors got moved to the Eastern Conference and the Golden State Warriors of the 2017-18 season. Y'all wilding. Y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. You can stop panicking. Stop acting like all these teams are going to just get so much better. Listen, man, they still got a 60-some-odd games, season to go to even figure that out. You still got playoffs to happen. You also still got free agency. Might not have a lot of money, but I like our team. I think we're going to learn from what happened last year. I hope. Because if we don't, Brad's got to go. Not the players. Brad has to go. He's been here 7 years now. But Danny Ainge doesn't need to be the one to go. And I never defend Danny Ainge. Believe me, I hated him as a player. He drove me nuts as a player. But let me just be perfectly clear. He ain't doing nothing wrong this offseason. The only thing you could really sit there and say is that he should have just traded Hayward when he had a chance. Other than that, he ain't do nothing wrong. You don't trade your building blocks to get a title now and then leave. Who wants to win one title and not be? Don't y'all remember how it was in 08? You won that title. Did you even really enjoy that? As a fan, I can tell you right now, I'm a diehard Celtics fan. I didn't enjoy that. Because the next year, Garnett got hurt. We went to the finals the next year. We lost in 7 games. Got beaten against Miami the next year. Went to the conference finals, lost to Miami in 7 games. And then we didn't sniff the playoffs anywhere deep in the playoffs until 2017. We were our first round out other than that. Come on, man. Let's not forget where we were at one point. Y'all need to chill. That said, Ainge don't have to go. Y'all need to me, I think y'all need to stop being fans. I really think that you guys need to stop looking to trade everybody. If y'all were GMs, y'all would be terrible. Y'all would be out the league in a week. Man, you guys would be like Sam Hinkie. You'd be out the game. You wouldn't know what to do. You'd be trading everybody. For what? For 1 year? For 1 year of success? That's not the Celtic way. Hell, that shouldn't even be anyone's damn motto. Unless you're like Orlando Magic or something that just they need to get out the cellar dweller and actually be something significant. Otherwise, what are we talking about? That BD Siegel said in that, what we talking about? What we talking about, man? At the end of the day, y'all need to wake up. Stop trying to make everybody a trade victim. And for the record, anybody sitting here saying Kemba's an average player, y'all need to be drug tested. You don't average almost 30 points a game in multiple seasons. You don't become a threat, an all-star guard 5 times and become the starter both back-to-back years when your peers respect you on a high level. They know what Kemba about. And you guys just want to hold a bad playoff run because of his knee against him and sit there and call him average? Y'all need to be drug tested. You weren't saying he was average when he put 38 on the Nets when they were booing Kyrie out the building when Kyrie refused to show up. How we forget? Go Squad TV. Back with some more coverage later, more content. I'm going to chill for a little bit. Salute.